Also on the rack, the bizarre vampire of the apes. Have you the nerve to face the unexpected? How about we ask, can you pass up a horror comic that features a vampire gorilla? It seems DC Comics intended to mine vampires for all they were worth in the early 1980s, while Vampire targeted sophisticated readers. The lore of a vampire ape likely sought out youngsters. The Unexpected, number 210, May 1981, also sought to keep DC Comics' horror anthology flames burning, and did so with an incredibly audacious story. The stunning cover art by Rich Buckler and Dick Giordano depicts villagers wondering where all the vampires they want to destroy have gone. They don't see the massive purple gorilla with bat wings lurking behind them, fangs bared. The engaging cover asks, is he savior or savage? As is always the case with provocative comic book covers, you must purchase the issue to discover the answer. The story written by George Cashdan sounds ridiculous, while the illustration by Jess Jodlerman evokes a garish, gothic, and captivating dreamscape. Is Vampire of the Apes as ludicrous as it sounds? How do you define absurd? The tale is ridiculous, but it is not a campy, awful short. A massive vampire plague sweeps the fictional country of Bosvenia, and the villagers fear for their extinction. Count Karmov, Dracula in all but name, unleashed his undead hordes on the population, and no human can defeat them. So, the wise Professor Rorik puts his education to good use. He trains a gorilla to tear the vampires apart. Count Karmov proves too formidable for the massive ape. He drains the beast of its blood with little effort. The Count soon regrets his actions when the creature emerges from its burial spot as a vampire primate who exterminates human-turned vampires. What a shame the wise professor failed to inform the villagers of the ape's intentions. The potboiler captures the juvenile strangeness inherent in DC Comics horror tales in a tight narrative that gives readers something too over-the-top to ignore. Guys in gorilla suits were commonplace in old horror movies, comedies, and adventures, and those films continued to air in syndication in the early 1980s. The wild cover for the dying comic, The Unexpected, leveraged that outdated media as best it could. Despite its brevity and absurdity, Vampire of the Apes is a 5-star DC horror comic tale.